Quran was revealed at a time when people knew very little about astronomy, physics, or biology. However, it contains key information on various areas, from the creation of the universe to the formation of humans, and from the structure of the atmosphere to the balances on Earth. Now, let's take a look at some of the scientific miracles about the universe that revealed in the Quran together. There are more than 100 billion galaxies in the visible universe, and each small galaxy contains approximately a billion stars. Furthermore, each big galaxy contains more than a trillion. Many of these stars have planets, and many of those planets have satellites. All these celestial bodies follow the most finely calculated paths and orbits. For millions of years, each one has been moving in its own path, in flawless harmony with all the others. Stars, planets, and satellites all rotate around their own axis. They also rotate together with the system of which they are a part. The universe functions within a finely tuned order, just like the wheels in a factory. Did you ever think what would happen if even a minor deviation would take place in this equilibrium? Let's examine the situation together. It has been calculated that even the slightest deviation from celestial bodies' paths could have drastic consequences, which might spell the end of the entire system. While rotating around the Sun, the Earth follows such an orbit that every 18 miles it only deviates 2.8 millimeters from a direct course. The orbit followed by the Earth never changes, because even a deviation of 3 millimeters would cause catastrophic disasters. For example, if the deviation were 2.5 millimeters instead of 2.8, then the orbit would be very large and all of us would freeze, just as you see right now. Did you know what would happen if the deviation were 3.1 millimeters? We would be scorched to death. These facts have been discovered by the observations in modern astronomy in 20th century. However, that the entire universe is full of paths and orbits, such as this one, is written in the Quran as follows: by the sky, full of paths and orbits. It is mentioned in another verse too, that the sun is not static, but moves in a definite orbit. It is He who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. They swim along, each in an orbit. As you see, all scientific facts that we have just talked about are pointed out in the Quran in a miraculous way. Well, could these pieces of information have been possibly known at the time when the Quran was released? Of course not. Now, let's take a look at the technology of that time. Naturally, at the time when the Quran was released, people had no telescopes, advanced observation technologies, or our modern knowledge of physics and astronomy. Consequently, it was impossible to establish that the space has its oscillating orbits as described in the verse. As you see, the Quran provided clear information concerning that fact, and this is the proof that the Quran is the word of God, the word of Allah.